Can't stand some of y'all, man. I really didn't want to talk about this. I really was trying to skip this shit. But shout out to my man Dennis, Dennis Hodge. I saw the comment, and sometimes it takes me a couple of comments. Don't be doing this because you always start doing this, and then I'll start making videos on stuff I don't want to talk about. Shout out to It's X always. It's X 2024. Who said exactly what this is. It's really the recycled Nas and Jim Jones shit all over again. And this is hip hop now. The music is so stale, no one's making anything of real quality. And so therefore, it's just beef. Beef is the only thing that people care about. And I'm not saying that. I know that Dennis Hodge he's a good subscriber and good poster. So I think it's just a morbid curiosity, let's just say, to hear what I want to say about this whole thing. But yeah, let me keep it brief. Well, you know me, I try to keep it brief, but then I go on hip hop tangents because that's what it is. Okay, I think Doggie Diamonds actually talked about this, and I did see Doggie Diamonds' video. I'm going to react to some of that because I think Doggie nailed it. But before we do that, let's get into why this conversation is so ridiculous. Number one, if will.i.am had the option right now, you either get a verse from Hove or you get a verse from Black Thought. He's picking Hove, so this stuff is stupid as fuck. Okay, if if it was offered, if Jay-Z said, "Okay, will.i.am, I'm gonna give you a verse, but I need you to suck my penis, and I need you to also go and murder Black Thought," literally. But will.i.am would think about that shit. That's why this conversation is so dumb. Because it's so dumb. And Sway was sitting there and no pushback, nothing. No, just because again, he's just trying to go viral. All these people, that's all it is. Like, oh, it's a viral moment. Great. All right, man. Look at this list here. Jay-Z's number 2. I would put Jay-Z number 2. Jay-Z's arguably number 1. Okay, arguably, of course. He's a great rapper. Black Thought is not on this list. Black Thought would not be on a 50-100 list. And Black Thought would probably not even be in a 100 to 150 list either. Just being honest with you. Black Thought is not a top 100 rapper. So why would a not top 100 rapper have anything to say, or why would they even be compared next to someone who is easily top 5, arguably top 1? See how stupid that conversation is? And there are levels, because for example, let's look at ASAP. I'll pick somebody I really like. I love ASAP. I do. ASAP Rocky's 42. ASAP Rocky's a better rapper than Black Thought, respectfully. So, is ASAP Rocky comparable to Jay? No, of course not. Jay is several levels better than ASAP Rocky. You know this. Why are we having this conversation? Now, some of you will say, oh, but lyrically, no. Bars, we know Rocky don't have no bars. Yeah, Black Thought has slightly better bars than ASAP Rocky. Sure. But overall, ASAP Rocky is a better rapper than Black Thought. You know this. ASAP Rocky has a better rap voice, cadence, whatever you want to call this, right? ASAP Rocky has much more interesting production, much more interesting style. Black Thought doesn't have neither of those. So ASAP Rocky's the better rapper. I'm sorry, but this is how it works. Someone would be like, yo, throw on that ASAP Rocky. No one is like, yo, throw on that Black Thought. Does Black Thought even have a solo album? Like, what are we talking about right now? I looked at the best Black Thought songs on the internet. Aquamarine, never heard of it. Ya, never heard of it. And what's crazy is actually I have heard these songs before because I do, even people I don't necessarily care for, I do try to listen because I know he had an album with Ninth Wonder. I did try to listen to it. And I completely forgot because they're that fucking lame. State Prisoner, what song is that? 215, what song is that? Belize, what song is that? And it's with Danger Mouse. What song is that? Crowns for Kings, I don't remember this song. I'm not a Benny the Butcher guy. I don't care. Super Lyrical Pun renegaded him. Anybody that listens to that, will know that Pun renegated Black Thought as expected. And then 100% Dundee, I don't know what that song is. So you're talking about a guy that doesn't... I feel like sometimes when people make these comparisons, it's almost like will.i.am has a vendetta against Black Thought. And he wants to line them up, right? Because why else would you say this shit? Now, the best thing that Black Thought ever said, in my opinion, the most memorable line, it's 2 words. Actually, it's 5 words. 5. Caramel complected, body like heaven. That's it. I'm sorry. That's it. It was off Silent Treatment. It got sampled. That's even why it got sampled into that City High record, for those of y'all who might remember. And rest in peace to one of those City High members that passed recently. City High, Caramel. It starts off with a Black Thought sample. That's the only time I've ever heard Black Thought sampled. Again, how you know someone is up there with one of the great rappers is how many times people, remember a damn word they said, sample their voice or something like that. You know how many times Hogan's been sampled? Motherfuckers can't rhyme no more, about crime no more. Nas, obviously, he's been sampled, arguably, maybe the most sampled rapper ever, vocally. So, Prodigy, certainly. Ghost. Like, I mean, again, if you're not being sampled, it means that we don't really care. Let's be honest. Or certainly you're not that guy. You cannot be in that echelon. Okay? Because the echelon rappers are the ones that get sampled. Rakim, Kane, right? Even Bismarck, right? Like, you got to be in that echelon. Vocally, lyrically. And Black Thought is not in that echelon. Because vocally he's not very interesting. You know this. And again, his pen is actually not interesting either. Really and truly. It's very standard. It's very standard backpacker type of rap. And it's worse because his delivery just isn't really there. I'll give you an example.
Yo, lost generation, fast-paced nation, world population confront their frustration.
Okay.
The principles of true hip-hop have been forsaken. It's all contractual and about money making.
Okay, let's go.
Tend to be cats, don't seem to know they limitation. Exact replication and false representation. You want to be a man, then stand your own.
Okay, so it was all Asian, limitation, representation, nation, blah, 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 right? It was boring. It was boring. He's not saying anything that's all that crazy either, right? Let's look at these rhymes. Lost generation, fast-paced nation. It's okay. It's okay.
Nation, world population confront their frustration.
World population confront their frustration. It's okay. But again, you don't remember this. It's not a bar.
The principles of true hip hop have been forsaken.
Sorry. Let's listen to some
region, frequencies, and intensities. In other words, to track the groove.
This is re-evolution, regeneration, representation. What's your destination? Baby star status amongst the constellations. No conversation without contemplation. Premier lyricist in deep concentration. Where all you suffer severe complications. Straighten and running curves, re-education. First lesson, never question my dedication. Most of y'all are in it for commercial presentation. No rocking without the proper documentation. Fucking with it fully committed. It's fornication. I rock hard with the rock hard nowadays.
So, okay. Asian, but both of these guys are doing that Asian, limitation, Asian, whatever at the end of the bar. Okay, cool. Right? I would argue that this dude from K-Otix, I don't even know who's this guy's name, right? Respectfully. He's vocally more interesting. Obviously, this is a better beat too. So that matters in a big way. Vocally, even rhyme-wise, is better than Black Thought in that vein. And this is somebody that is not a top 100 rapper, with all due respect to K-Otix, right? You don't even know who they are. Most people don't know who these people are, okay? They're from Texas or something like that. I don't know who these guys are, okay? So this is why I'm trying to tell you that Black Thought he's in that realm, respectfully. He's a backpack, you know, those rappers from back in the day, like in the mid to late 90s, they were doing that It's Real hip-hop, underground with the vinyl, but their skills weren't quite there, but they weren't totally trash. Like, that's where Black Thought is. So, but Black Thought, because he's friends with Common, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, gets to visit. You guys are gonna force me to go in, and I don't want to go in on this dude. But this is the problem with these conversations. All right, to close this off, let's see what Doggie Diamonds is saying, because I actually agree with that. I'm gonna react to this because, and don't worry, it's not gonna be long.
For some reason in this culture, it's cool to dislike Jay-Z.
Yeah, you see, it's weird. But you know what's so interesting? I remember when Jay-Z stanery was at its peak. I'm old enough to remember that. When it was like, Jay, and Deep Throat, constant. And I was just like, oh my God, man. He has the best girl. He's rich. It's just like, relax. He's a rapper, okay? And I love Jay. But relax, okay? So in a way, it's sort of like maybe the backlash of all the deep throating that was happening. I would say probably in the mid 2000s, right around the time when he was retiring and when he married Beyonce, especially like it was too much. But yes, it's weird because we've kind of gotten into this mode right now. Over the last really 10 years. Stuff has gotten warped. Last really 10 to 15, even arguably 20 years. There's been a cultural shift. This cultural Marxism is all about destroying heroes, right? And getting everything down, destroying the notion of truth, moral relativism. I'm as dope as Jay and all this kind of weirdo shit, right? It's a way of destroying the foundation of things. Again, I keep talking about this. It's not some conspiracy theory shit. This is real, okay? You have hostile countries on hostile country platforms, TikTok, owned by the CCP, China, right? You have Russian bots, literally, who are amping up the set. I'm not making no shit up that you don't already know. They're just trying to get into the minds and warm away at America from the inside. And a lot of this stuff, again, I'm not saying that there's a Russian guy saying like, we are going to diss Jay-Z and that's how we're gonna overthrow America. I'm not saying it's like that. But what I am saying is that there is this sort of cultural, it's a byproduct of a lot of this stuff, where it's like, we're going to create an environment or amp up the set. We're going to poison certain politicians or put them in our pocket, who are people who are going to start to, let's say, shift the narrative, right? That's what I'm trying to say, away from what makes Western societies good, America great, towards this weird sort of like we're all equal and representation is all that matters. No talk about talent, and if we don't like you, we're gonna just cancel you right away, right? No matter what you've accomplished, you're just out of here because we don't like your sexual preferences and weird shit. This is the whole point. So I think that's where some of this Jay stuff is coming from too. I mean, it's like when Hulk Hogan, and I'm just ended on this note. When Hulk Hogan passed, people were talking about, at least on the internet, again, this is some CCP shit to me, but they were like, well, Hulk Hogan was racist, so I don't care. And it's like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, Hulk Hogan is a great wrestler. He's the greatest wrestler arguably ever, certainly the most visible. He loved America for what, I'm not necessarily on Hulk Hogan's political side like that, but the first thing you think about is whether or not Hulk Hogan was racist in the past. Like, please, give me a fucking break, okay? Stop with that virtue signaling nonsense. Black people don't even care about that shit. I mean, I can't speak for all black people, but we didn't wake up in the morning going like, oh my God, Hulk Hogan is dead. Remember that shit he said about? No, most of us don't care about that stuff. That's the virtual signaling that comes from other people, actually. Again, as a way to destroy your heroes, right? Now, it would have been different if Hulk Hogan made a living off of denigrating black people. Like, he had no talent. He was not even a remotely good wrestler. And every time he took the stage, he was like, fuck Blackie or whatever. Or some shit, right? And then everyone was like, that's different. Then I could say, yeah, that's someone you can throw away because he was never that talented, right? But you can't knock talent. You can't knock people who have actually proven, who have done stuff, who are iconic. You just can't, okay? Well, you can, but it just makes you look like a lame and a hater, respectfully. Because the work is there. The proof is in the pudding. Okay? It's not a clout. It has nothing to do with who's marketing him and all that shit. It's just, the work speaks for itself. We have to go back to those days, man. Anyway.
It's cool to dislike Jay-Z.
Which is weird.
And I'm going to be real with you. A lot of niggas can't fuck with him.
Not even a lot. We're talking about 99.9%. It's not, again, it's not like Jay is just like, he just snuck in and was lucky to become a famous rapper. No. 99.9% of people who have ever rapped can't fuck with Jay. Okay? It doesn't matter how much you get marketed and all that shit. You could get marketed with $3 trillion and you will still not be as good as Jay.
That's just the truth. A lot of niggas can't fuck with him. Could Black Thought rap? But I ain't never heard nobody ever say, throw that Black Thought on.
Never. Can you imagine how that shit would sound? You'll throw that. Listen, I'll give you a perfect example of this, right? And I can't prove this because you guys don't have the video, but I wish I recorded this shit. Oh my God. So when I had shortly moved to New York, I was in, and again, this is the East Coast. Before people start saying, oh, in the South, they don't respect rhymes, whatever. I was in New York, and Busta Rhymes did a free show. Oh, jeez, Prospect. I want to say Busta Rhymes, 2018 Prospect. Was it Prospect Park show? I got receipts, my nigga. That's right. BAT. And I saw Justine Skye. I don't know what the fuck happened to Justine Skye. I went to the show, actually. I don't know if I have a video of this. Yeah, that's right. It was a Brooklyn BAT block party. I don't know if they ever did another one. So anyways, I want to say DJ Scratch was on the turntables. Maybe. But I remember this event because it was a lot of fun, and also the DJ, right, in between sets, playing music. And this is also when Nonstop was ringing off. When did Nonstop come out? Like 2018 probably, right? Exactly. So it was Drake, Nonstop, Look Alive, just crowds, mostly black audience. Of course, there's some white people, all that shit. You know, he's playing all the shit. And then this dude puts on either it was The Seed or Proceed. I don't remember which one it was. Instant vibe killer. Instant. Everyone was standing around. And then DJ, not being dumb, was playing, saw that the freaking audience was, falling asleep, and switched to something else, and was back to Drake, and everyone was like, right? The Roots are not very good, okay? Respectfully. They're certainly not good enough to be played at some kind of party or whatever. They're vibe killers, so no one is saying throw that Black Thought on, or throw that J on. Or I'm sorry, throw that Black Thought Roots on. But they are definitely saying throw that J on. Throw that Money Cash hose on. That shit go. But Big Pimpin' whatever.
I ain't never heard of that. No cookout, no barbecue, no club, ever. And
I'm just telling you, literally the one time I've heard this attempted at a show, it was switch back to some Drizzy.
I love Proceed. I love You Got Me. I love a lot of their records, but I ain't never heard nobody ever say, throw that Black Thought on. Ever. In the history of music. It don't get no burn.
Yeah, and if you don't get no burn, then how good are you? Again, you become great because of replay value. I can't stress this enough. People are going to start to copy my shit, of course. It's all good. Replay value is what matters. You know how people became legends? How did Illmatic become the greatest rap album ever? Because it has extraordinarily replay value. Arguably the greatest replay value of any rap album. That's how it became up there. That's how Supreme Clientele got up there. That's how Cuban Links got up there. Replay value. So if your shit is not being constantly played generation after generation, and we're not even forcing it, just on some like, yo, I feel like listening to this right now, or it does, one song might come on once in a while, whatever, and you're like, damn, I need to go back and listen to that album. I love that album, right? You are not that guy. You cannot be on the list with people who are those people, okay? Jay-Z has millions, well, millions is a strong word, but Jay-Z has lots of songs with tons of replay value. That's why he's number 2, right, in my opinion, right? But that's why he's top 5, easy. Okay? Black Thought has no songs. None. 0. He has no songs. What songs does Black Thought have that fuck with anything Nas, Jay, shit, even ASAP have ever come out with? Not What They Do. No, please no. No, shit's boring and sleepy. Silent Treatment, nah. And I'm naming you their best shit. You Got Me, okay, sort of, but that's more like relaxed in the background. You know, that's not no like party starter. You know, at the end of the night, maybe, you know, that kind of thing. Come on, man.
So how could you say somebody is better than somebody if nobody's listening to it? When are you listening to it?
Great question.
So stop.
Great question.
Jay-Z did a lot of things that we question his character. He did some things where business-wise, but he got records. He's one.
Okay, so we don't even, first of all, I don't know Jay. I don't like, these are people I don't know, right? At all. Like, I'm not connected to them whatsoever. But I will say this, though. It is interesting how people, again, will shit on Jay. But Jay, like, I just saw an interview with Scarface, and Scarface was talking about when he had COVID, and he was, like, on his damn near deathbed. Jay fucking paid for his hospital bills. So what are we talking about, right? Like, again, I just find this really weird. Like, if you're going to talk about, and now, you're going to say, well, that's just Jay-Z being, playing chess, but he's going to, rape his artists. Whatever, man. I just, again, I don't know these people personally, but my whole thing is just be consistent with your narrative. If you have a certain narrative, base it on something real, okay, and be consistent, okay? So if your thing is Jay screws people over and he's a evil business guy and he's evil, he doesn't do anything good for nobody, but then it turns out that Scarface himself is saying, hey, Jay just helped pay for my hospital treatment, then obviously your narrative doesn't quite, add up. There are some things that need fixing there. So then you have to dial it back a bit. I mean, this is just common sense, right?
One of the top people with the catalog in the culture, whether we like it or not.
Catalog is, again, this is what replay value equals catalog is the same thing. Okay? It's not Jim Jones releasing 15 albums that nobody's heard. That's different. He has catalog to nobody but himself. Catalog means how many songs did you make that are fantastic, that are phenomenal, that I can just throw on and we're like, yeah, I love that record. That has a ton of replay value. Some people have one, some people have two. Some people like Jay have 40, 50, 60, 70, right? Biggie, 40, 50. Like, I mean, these are different kind of people, different kind of conversations. Roots, one, maybe.
Whether we like it or not, it's just the truth. And when you tell the truth, that's a part of your integrity. When you say stuff that's not truthful, then we got to question you.
For sure. For sure.
I'm a Roots fan. So I know about Proceed. I know about the Roy Ayers version. Rest in peace to that man. I know a lot. I know about the Flex freestyle. I know everything.
All that shit's mediocre. And the thing is, he's a Roots fan. I'm not. I've never been a Roots fan. I don't like. I've told you I don't like live bands in hip hop. We move beyond them. Pumpkin and all that shit. It doesn't have the vitality. Doesn't have the energy. Hip hop did not start as live bands. Okay, we've been through this. Okay, hip hop is turntables, speakers, right? Equipment type music. All right. And then when they tried to replicate those records in the studio before the advent of drum machines, they had live bands like Pumpkin and stuff playing stuff, and the shit was missing. It felt watery. That's why, like, when I listen to the Roots, I'm like, this shit feels watery to me. It's like, it's a little weak. I'm not really all the way there. It's not terrible, but it's not all the way there. So for us to go back to the early, 1980, like, why? I don't want to go back there. We've done this before, but some guy's gonna be like, that's really heap, and it's like, you guys don't get it, man. If you knew more about rap, you would know that we've been here before, and it wasn't a great place. It was really a temporary stopgap before the advent of drum machines, and that's when shit really got popping. Because then it was like, oh, this is like that energy from the block, the concrete, right? And then Marley Marl with sampling, and anyway. Let's go back.
Remember when Black Thought used to rap and scat, but you can't tell me one rhyme from Black Thought that you was like, I do like the joint with him and Benny. I felt like he bodied Benny though.
I'm sure he bodied Benny because Black Thought is a better rapper than Benny. But again, Black Thought and Benny are both vocally boring, but Black Thought has a better pen. So that's an easy body, right? But you're bodying Benny the Butcher, right? Like, French Montana bodies Benny the Butcher. So what are we talking about? That's not a really high bar. And what he was saying with regards to not really having, like, again, Black Thought doesn't have the record. So what are we talking about here?
On that. But come on, y'all gotta stop. And it's not cool because what happens though in our culture, we start omitting our greats, and that makes room for these bum dudes to come through. Black Thought, exactly. I'm not talking about him. Exactly. But when we take Jay-Z off the mountain that he belongs on as a great MC and start replacing him with people who don't have the catalog, that's when other people start seeping through.
That's exactly it. And number one, this is the whole point of why you cannot allow this weirdo cultural Marxism nonsense, because it's all about agents seeping through to undermine your shit from within. Okay? This is why, again, you guys have Zoran bin Laden in New York, right? They seep through, right? Again, the whole point of why these dudes in like some of these trolls on the internet and even some artists who go like, no, Jay-Z's not that great, or Nas is not that great. It's a way of them validating their presence in rap. Because if you knock Nas and Jay off a pedestal that they rightfully deserve to be on because of what they've come out with, if you make it subjective that they're actually dope, you'd be like, oh, they're only dope because of New York or whatever bullshit excuse you can invent, then it validates your bum-ass existence and you can worm your way into hip-hop. And funny enough, what always happens with these individuals that worm their way into that shit is they're not happy with it staying subjective for all. They will play that subjective game as a way of undermining shit. But the moment they get into position, and if they are lucky, they have the prime position and they actually get to that spot that they're claiming, they will now claim that they are the greatest thing walking, and everyone else who is not as great as them, who doesn't think they're great, is to be undermined, canceled, ostracized, killed, whatever. Because that's how these bum-ass people think, okay? They're cowards at the end of the day. It's cowardice thinking. Before I wrap this up, let me go to BagFuel. Shout out to BagFuel. Again, not on my level. But anyway, I'm not trying to start no beef. But I will say this, though. There was a guy that they had on here that, to me, said the dumbest shit, respectfully. And I thought this was kind of hilarious. So, again, shout out to Esso. I believe Esso's the dude with the braids and shit. And he actually said a really funny thing on one of these videos where he's like, I don't even listen to these dudes' projects. He hasn't been listening to rappers' stuff for years now. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. And I'm sure some people comment and be like, what the fuck? He doesn't even listen. How can he comment? Because he's not stupid. Why would he waste time listening to the whack shit? It's clear that these guys, all these new and old, are dropping bullshit music. It's better to not even hear that shit. Spend your time doing something else. So, let me listen to what this guy said.
Face better than fucking Kendrick.
No, what I took from it is, look,
that's old. That's old for real?
That's old.
No, I'm not talking
math
about
is totally different from everybody else.
Oh, so did I though.
What the fuck?
Them together and connecting
How
with
did
the.
you say that?
Like lyrically, I'm Talib Kweli.
Oh, this is what I thought was hilarious. So this dude was like, well, Black Thought is more lyrical than Jay, but then he starts off his argument quoting Jay. What the fuck? See, if it were me, I would have been like, man, get the fuck out of my podcast right now. How do you start an argument saying one is better than the other, or might be able to put shit together better, but your quote is Jay-Z? Why? This is so dumb. It means you don't remember a fucking thing Black Thought says. We all don't, okay? It's not very good. All right? It's we're going to keep going, man. I'm sorry. You guys don't seem to really y'all don't really understand this shit, man. No, it's not this. It's not this. Actually, sorry. Y'all don't really know, man. Let's go.
MOP.
No. What the fuck is this, man? Let's go. There we go.
Come on!
Yeah. All right.
Intelligent ignorance.
Jump in! Put it in the
Let's go.
Middle fingers up!
Put it in the air.
Yeah, middle fingers up! Put it in the air! Now, show me the hand, you pop that thing with index fingers up! Put
You
it
about
in
to
the
witness the most intelligent, ignorant shit you gonna hear in the miserable life that you living. I hope that you digging it. I ain't no different from any nigga living in the hood whose attitude is I wish a nigga would. Your fam might will kiss you goodbye, they miss you for good. No more Mr. Nice Guy, listen to the hook. Homie, I put you in the air, feel the fury of the feather trigger, nigga. If you near the iron spark, I light up bark. Can't even save you, I will break you. What you high on pump? I kill niggas with my own thoughts. Yeah, I'm guilty as charged, nigga, it's my own fault. Homie, you walking through hell with nylon socks, my non-pump up. I make you wind up in the basement with DJ Satan. Your boy got the
Stop. You'll wind up in the basement with DJ Satan? Come on. What are we talking about? Fucking this. I'm ending the stream right now. Peace.